What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Future of Podcast. This is what, number 3? I think it's number 3 or number 4. Four. We have a very special guest with us today. He is the co-owner of Arcade Coffee Roasters. He's one of the most fashionable people that I know. He has a couple dope tattoos. He is none other than Shane Levario. What is up, my guy?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, bro.
You know, 4 is my favorite number.
Wow.
And that's why we brought you on the fourth one.
So I think it's meant to be.
Yes.
Dude, you're an Enneagram
7.
Never mind. That's so close. So close.
And you're an Enneagram 4.
Are you a 4?
And you're...
I'm a 9.
Yeah,
I'm a 9. So no 4s here. But hey, so really quick before we get started completely, we wanted to make it clear we are so committed to being healthy, keeping each other safe, and that's why we're wearing masks.
For sure.
But I think everybody has their inner circle that they do life with, and that inner circle kind of is the people you're most comfortable around to take off your mask in because you trust where they've been and you know where they've been. And for us, we are all part of that inner circle, so we're going to take off our mask, and we didn't want to alarm anybody, but we've actually talked about this beforehand, so it's going to come off. There we go. Booyah. So, hi. I feel like there's stuff on my face now.
I feel itchy like that.
Don't look at me. I feel like I'm all sweaty.
All empty.
Anyways, so, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey.
I have one question for you just to get started.
Let's go.
Somebody told me that you have an interesting take on ethical meat. What does that even mean?
Or is it like right in?
Is that like...
Wait, who told you that?
I mean, I don't know.
It was
Some
me,
dumb
dude.
guy.
Man, I feel like, dude, this is something... It's been something that I think about a lot, actually.
Yeah, like the other day I was like, yo, let's go Wingstop. And he's like, no.
Yeah, that much?
Dude,
I just kidding, I
yes,
didn't actually.
well, possibly, maybe. That might have been a me at one point, but... Yeah, I mean, dude, it's something that I feel really conflicted about, eating meat.
I thought you said convicted. I was like, all right.
I'm convicted as well, but I'm conflicted. Because I feel, my sister's been vegetarian, my girlfriend's vegetarian,
Dang.
And we always like listen to podcasts or watch videos.
The Future of one, right?
Yeah, the Future. I don't listen to any other podcasts. Yeah, I listen to the 3 just. But yeah, I mean, I would say that. Do you?
Or here, give us a little clarity. What is kind of like
ethical
an ethical take on that, or you heard about compassionate eating?
Compassionate eating. Yeah, well, I think, what I've heard it, have you guys heard of Gibran? He's like a Lebanese poet.
LeBron, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, LeBron.
Sorry,
He once said in his book, there's this Lebanese writer. He's amazing, one of my favorite
awesome.
authors. But he talks about how eating, every time you eat something, whether it's meat or not, there's something that's given up for it, whether it's a life or some type of thing. And eating in that way, I think, is kind of the foundation of what I believe is compassionate
That's
eating.
great, yeah.
I'm striving to be better at eating, because my thing is this. Hey, I really wish I could be vegan. Maybe I'll get there one day. But it's kind of hard, man. But I like eating meat, and
Oh yeah.
So ideally I wish I could just go hunting and
I see what you mean.
kill an elk and freeze it and eat it for 8 months, but I can't do that. So I could, but I just don't. I'm not going to do that.
I don't even know where elk are.
But
That's cool, dude.
yeah, so,
That's for sure. That's super. I've heard Joe Rogan talk about that.
yeah, dude, for sure.
He just moved to Texas, and one of the first things that he posted about was him hunting this deer or something like that. And then he I don't want to get too graphic, but he butchered it and whatnot. And then he was like, yeah, this is going to feed me and my family for weeks or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably a more healthier way to eat meat for the environment too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Where you're taking what you need and not in excess. Or...
Totally. And dude, the meat industry is horrible. It's
For
insane,
sure.
man. At least the fast kind of way of producing meat is just, it's really horrible. And I can get into that, but that'd be a long story.
We got time for it, but
yeah.
I forgot to do the timer.
I got the timer right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Which is ironic.
Because we get a little long-winded.
Oh, yeah. What's ironic is that a couple of weeks ago, I had that Saturday where we made a steak on our our crosswalk live stream.
Yeah.
Like part of the service was just us cooking steak, and it's I don't know, ironic talking about meat now. How ethical that was, I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not ethical at all.
I do want to, this is a random story about Shane. So the other day, we're all hanging out. It's like lunch break, right? And he pulls out this clutch.
Hey.
And it was weird because like he reached into it and he just pulled out a chicken wing and a slice of pizza. But like, which is something you'd expect if, like if you have a lunch pail,
Yes.
right? And if somebody reaches in there and pulls out a slice of pizza, it doesn't look weird, right?
Yes.
But Shane just like, it's like this weird bag. He's just like,
Yeah,
he
honestly.
just took out a slice of pizza.
These things are cool,
this like a
alright?
lunch pail,
It's
or
a
what
lunch
is that?
bag. It's a reusable, it acts as a reusable Ziploc bag. And it's waxed like paper. So you
Can I feel
reuse it and you wash it. It's incredible.
Wow.
But
I thought it was
apparently you
banana.
need to wash it multiple times unless you're, because I had
sure.
pizza in there and a chicken wing and that tasted like straight up wax. And I ate it and I was like, this is not good.
Why am
Just pour
I
that out.
having candle rain?
But yeah,
What's
I was
that
trying
mean?
to be all like, environmental friendly and.
Dude, are you like
these
super
things.
health guy?
So no.
So just
You
so
know-
you know what's in here, a lot of almonds and a rice cake.
Yeah. To be honest though, that's actually Stevie's. So.
Oh,
Steve.
nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, Steve.
So actually, me and him have the same one. So.
This is a good segue. So Andy mentioned that you're co-owner
Yes.
of Arcade. We should give a shout out. If you want to give a shout out to Arcade,
Arcade.
and then talk really quick about who owns Arcade.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it'll help give like a perspective of the
For sure.
context of where our conversation is going to go when we talk about leadership. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, for those of you who don't know who or what Arcade is, we're a little coffee roastery on the east side of Riverside.
Yes.
We've been around we've been roasting coffee for probably 7 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, we weren't Arcade 7 years ago. We were a part of a different company, but we've transitioned into Arcade about 4 years ago. Started roasting, opened a retail store inside of an old video town, and
Just
about
flip the
like
V.
Yep, flip the V,
Literally.
made it an A, and
That's
yeah,
so
it's
awesome.
ADO town.
Radio time.
Hopefully, and then just the A and the town line up at night, so it's like A town.
A-Town.
Love it.
Awesome. Arcade Town.
But yeah, so that was started like we've been roasting coffee for 7 years. Stevie has been the guy kind of the visionary behind everything, and I'm just that young kid that was just like, yes, I'll do anything you say if you teach me how to make coffee and
For sure.
and do coffee. I've always loved coffee.
That's so awesome.
And yeah, so our ownership really consists of Stevie, which is kind of like the visionary main guy behind it all.
Nice, yeah.
And we have a guy named Rob Dodman, which is an
He's a
amazing,
vibe. So cool.
incredible guy. He helps us with a lot of like our financial stuff. And Brian Harmio, which is our another owner and partner, he helps us with like kind of like business development or like leadership development more so. Those guys are both act as like mentors to Stevie and I, and have been some of the most influential people
That's awesome.
in our lives, hands down. So
Yeah.
and
That's
then,
great. How did you and Stevie meet?
He was actually a leader at the church that I was going to in high school, the Grove. Yeah, so
Nice.
we would meet at Starbucks and go over a book.
Yeah.
I forget what book it was. What is the Gospel?
The Bible.
Do you know what that book is? What is
No.
the Gospel by Mark something? I forget. Maybe it's not
Zuckerberg?
even Mark. Yeah, I think it's Mark.
Dude,
Zuckerberg.
don't read that. There's a face on it. The Facebook.
The Facebook.
Dude, sorry,
yeah.
just want to interject some stuff because what a lot of people don't know, I don't even know if you know this, but me and Shane were kind of connected before we even met
Yes,
here at Arcade.
yes.
Because you lived up in like
Orange Crest.
Orange Crest
Yes.
area, right?
Mhm.
You went to
Yeah.
King High School.
Yep.
I didn't go to King High School. So King High School was like the local high school in that area where
Yeah.
most of the youth went for school. And then I went to Loma Linda Academy, right, in Loma Linda, so I commuted. But a lot of my friends in my neighborhood, we would all go skating times.
Yeah.
And then you grew up skating, right?
Yep.
So you guys were probably skating around each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, we for sure did.
Yeah.
Hands down.
At some point, we for sure were skating.
I mean,
together.
Drew, right? And
Drew.
then
Hey, shout out
Gabby.
Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A bunch
Drew.
of people that we knew.
Bobby, freaking
Tim
Gillespie.
Megan,
Yeah, Tim Gillespie was
Josh Estrada.
Tom
Josh
Quish.
Estrada. Yeah.
Barry.
Tom Holland. Yeah. That's cool. Dude, Mobile Skate Park.
Yeah,
was a
dude,
spot.
that was a spot, man.
Yeah.
Dude.
But dude, sorry, this was also segue into like, this is a dumb question, but like, which Starbucks did you guys hang out with? Was it like that
It was
one
the
right
on
there?
Orange Crest, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Right on Wood and Van Buren. Right? Yep, Wood and Van Buren.
Good vibes, dude.
Yeah.
When are you guys gonna bring iced blended drinks to arcade?
Soon, coming next week.
Do you guys have
actually, yeah.
frappuccinos?
We do, yeah. We're launching them soon. Just kidding. Never.
But
Never ever.
let's talk about this. Why?
Why?
would
Yeah,
you never
for
bring
sure.
a blended drink?
You know, it's too much work, honestly.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I really, it's just not. I feel
It's
like
not like specialty, huh?
it's not specialty. Yeah, it would be like a, really incredible, like, 5-star restaurant that
does
like
a
brings on like
cheeseburger, a double
chicken
cheeseburger.
nuggets. No, like
Right.
chicken nuggets, like blended chicken, and they, they
Or a
it
hot
looks
dog.
like a chicken
I get
nugget.
it.
Yeah.
Bologna
Because, like,
sandwich.
who doesn't like chicken nuggets, right? It reminds you of your
I
childhood.
love chicken
Right.
nuggets.
So they're good in some sense, but they're just not like.
But if you did specialty chicken nuggets, it wouldn't hit the same way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and also we have done a blended coffee drink before, but it was like a slushy machine.
Uh-huh.
And
Was that like the
kind of
better
a
way to do it?
Yeah, because there's a way to do it. I think frappuccinos and blended drinks is just like it's made for like sweet and sugary.
Oh, for
this
sure.
one was a little bit more like
Coffee.
fun, had some good flavors. Yeah, it's like a
Next summer.
Dude, Frappuccinos are my guilty pleasure, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like that is, I would drink a whole, what is the biggest one? Venti?
30? The 30? Yeah.
30?
Yeah,
30
Sure.
ounce?
Dude, yeah, well, that's what I would get at Starbucks. I'd try all their frappuccinos,
Yeah,
the Frappuccino Happy Hour or something that they had, or Frappuccino Week or something.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, frappuccinos are good.
They're
You
freaking
can't
delicious.
drink one and
It's
be like, this isn't
undeniable.
good. It's great. But hey, it's not specialty though.
It's not specialty. Hey, bro, I'll
Just-
bring you some
yeah.
Starbucks sometime if you
Done.
want.
Yeah,
We use
for
this
sure.
machine too.
I actually go to Starbucks often.
Oh.
Yeah, because their breakfast is good.
Dude.
Their spinach feta wrap is amazing. It's incredible.
That's no lie, bro.
Yeah, it's insane.
In the mornings on the way to school, we would stop by Starbucks and I'd get their egg and cheese sandwich on the
Oh,
ciabatta
yes.
bread.
Dude, yeah, come on.
Ooh.
Dude,
I mean,
the
they
bacon
microwaved it,
one
was
too.
frozen, but that thing was freaking.
Yeah, so
Well,
good.
no bacon
So
for
good.
us.
Yeah.
But, anyways, cool. Do you want to go into talking about?
Some of this stuff?
Yeah,
I do, but I have one.
go for it.
I think situationally, one thing I'd want to highlight about where you're at is like, or if you can share a little bit, maybe in terms of advice to people, is like how to have longevity in a company, right? Because you went from helping Stevie to make coffee as a teen.
Yeah.
Right? And then now in this phase of your life, you're, how old are you? 24?
24.
You're 24 and you're an owner of a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Right? So there's some I feel like there's some insight that you have there that
Yeah.
maybe you can just reflect on for a little bit for people who like either are working to get the degree or don't have the degree. Like how do you, I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's nuanced, but I feel like you have some insight on there.
Yeah. In terms of just like how to have that longevity of like
Dude, just
in
I
a
think.
company, you think, or
Yeah. Tell us your story. I think that'll be good. That'll feed into like, yeah.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I think coffee, business and like leadership has always been something I'm really passionate about, and I'm lucky for that. I'm lucky to be able to have this like opportunity that I get to come in and be better at what I love to do every single day. And I think that's important. Even if you're not like passionate about what you're doing, I think the ability to like lean in and commit to whatever you're doing, and that sense of like loyalty to whatever it is, or to that person, or to someone, right, is important. Because I think it's easy, and I've seen a lot of people always like seeking out what they like need from, whether it was at arcade or another situation in their life. I think it's easy to look at like what you could have that would make the situation better, or what you could what you could be doing to make like like, hey, I want this position, or I want to be in this like role, or I want to
Yeah.
have this type of boss or this type of thing. And I think it's really about like, well, I mean, if you don't have it, create the environment for it. You know, create that place for it. If you don't, so.
I see like that. I feel that's the insight there. Can you give an example of what it would look like? So like let's say I want to get paid more, possibly as a barista, right? Or I want to become an owner at like one of these type of shops. What's your advice? Like what are you saying to a person of like how they get there or how they can get there?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think it's about, I always think of it as like, if I were to leave, like, or if that person was to leave, how like missed would they be? Or how, you know, if this person left, would I be like, no, this person can't leave. Like, this person is unable to leave. So every day I want to be able to like, be that person, because at the end of the day, everybody is replaceable, I think, in some sense.
Sure.
Right? Like, you know, and Stevie has taught that. I mean, he started this company really, and it's like, he's even said like, you know, I'm replaceable. If I weren't able to do my job, you know, someone can, because we understand that arcade is bigger than just like us, right? And
sure.
Our vision, it's above that. So I think like, you know, I always think like, if I leave, like even just on a day-to-day basis in the environment, it's like being that person that if I leave, you know, people are like, man, like the energy is like different, right? Or when I come into the shop, the energy is different. And I've seen so many people like that. And I mean, so becoming that, you know, and trying to become better every single day. So
That's great. That's like a good, it's like an interesting meeting point, like a sweet spot where you're growing into that like integral member of the team, while at the same time recognizing like this isn't you. And I think correct me if I'm wrong, what you're explaining, as Stevie said, is that he himself is replaceable at some point, right?
Yeah.
Which nobody's trying to replace Stevie, but it's like that. It's almost that heart that you have of, I'm going to give everything that I have to this, but at the same time, like, I'm part of a team. This is not all about me.
For sure.
Is that accurate?
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that can sometimes come off a little bit like more individualistic, but it's not about that either. Because if someone isn't, you know, performing incredibly well, it's not about like everybody has to perform at their highest ability. It's not that, because it's not like, you know, if you don't perform well, you're replaceable. We're gonna get you out of here. You know, it's not about that at all. But it's more about like, if I come in with the mindset of being able to help like my team members and be that person that people want to like be around, and that you give like really encouraging and positive attitudes, man. Because it's like, you can learn like the skill, you can learn I mean, you can
like
learn
the technicality, right?
The technicality of it, but being like a good like leader and a good like emotional and like social and like personal leader in the company and then like in your work environment is hard. And I think like doing that and being able to like bring everybody up and have a good energy and just encourage people and love people well.
That's great.
So, yeah.
That's great.
Love one?
Love what?
Volume.
You got something, or?
Go for it.
Yeah. Dude, so here at Arcade, first off, just a little affirmation, whatever this does, but this has been like a home for me, like a second home. Like, you guys have created a space that's been such an inviting and welcoming place. And I feel like a lot of the friendships and relationships that I've had have come out of this coffee shop, because it's just become a hub where people can show up and hang out, do the work that they need to, but also there were some days, I remember I started coming to Arcade the summer of 2018. Natalie, my sister, is the one that started coming here. And after that summer, I wouldn't invite anybody to go to Arcade. I would just show up, because I knew that I was going to know somebody. Yeah, like I was going to show up and hang out with somebody. It didn't matter who. I didn't have to invite people. And part of your guys' brand, or like what you guys promote, or your mantra is create shared moments, right? That's create shared moments. And for me, I feel like I've stepped into the essence of what that's meant. Of like, I can't tell you the countless amazing moments that I've had here at Arcade and then outside of Arcade because of the relationships that were formed here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you could touch a little bit on the story of create shared moments, what that philosophy behind that could look like, and
and maybe even a little on how it's changed during the pandemic, right? I think that'd be
totally.
good.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we can talk a little bit about how we're trying to rebuild that.
Yeah.
As like stuff is like opening back up.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's even the same for me. I hear a lot of people, and it's awesome. It's like it makes me feel so good when I hear that, like each and every time. But it's kind of, you know, I feel the same way as like when someone says, you know, hey, I've met so many people here. I've come here and like I don't have to invite people. People are just here. I feel the same way. Like even you know working and being here, I feel that like I'm so excited to go into work because I get to just see people that I love and stuff. So yeah, I feel the same and it makes me excited. Yeah. But I think so behind the creation.
Not talking about you.
Like fishing for a compliment.
Well, yeah, just every time. I'm just really looking forward to Josh coming in.
Exactly. For those of you who don't know, Josh works here as well, just in case that wasn't clear.
Yeah, so our actual purpose statement is we strive to enrich lives by inspiring others to create shared moments, relationship, and a sense of belonging for all. And the way I see it is that like creating shared moments, those small moments that you have over coffee, and it's not like you can't do it over anything else, you know? Coffee is just like a vehicle for being able to do this. It's like it's by the means of which we're able to create shared moments and relationships with people. So we see it as like, you know, over coffee, you know, someone coming in and having a coffee with someone or with a friend or meeting someone. I've seen that happen so many times. They're sitting at a table and like getting to like talk with someone. They create that moment, and then that's where like the relationships come out of. I mean, that's how you know that's how we became friends. That's how we became friends. Is like these moments that we've had over coffee, and being in this environment, we've created this relationship, and now you're able to come in, and it's this like sense of belonging. Like I belong here, and I belong in this like place. So that's kind of where the whole thing is from. But it starts at that creating shared moments, and we look at it from there. It's like how can we create the like moments for people and an experience for people at Arcade when they come in. You know,
that's great, bro.
So, and it's definitely been difficult with the pandemic because, I mean, you're taking away that. And I mean, I'm sure we've seen that with the church too. We're having to be creative and having to find ways that, like, it's not only, you know, it doesn't only exist in the tasting room or in a church or something like that. You know, it exists outside of that. So hopefully we can create, you know, we've sold twice as many like roasted coffee bags to bring home than we did before. Like so during the pandemic as before. So yeah, I'm hoping that, you know, what I think is happening is that people are taking it home. And it's still like saying
the shared moment happens.
Yeah, exactly. Because especially when you have really an amazing product or a really good coffee, it's like you want to share that with someone too. Yeah. So I think that's what's cool. Is like we're able to have those moments inside of the house, and we've done that like our subscription program and stuff like that. So we're trying to get our coffee in people's houses, and
that's great.
It's hard to just drink really good coffee alone.
For sure.
So.
Go ahead.
Dude, so I imagine for you this idea of community has like a faith perspective. But then it's also informed by just like good humanity, all right? And I feel like you're one of those people that it's not just like, oh, your idea of faith comes from maybe your belief in higher powers, right, or in God or in a higher being. Like that, I feel like your idea of community is both shaped by maybe your personal faith, but then also just in your definition of like what you believe humanity should be about. All right. Can you share a little bit more just about like your perspective on community? For sure. And then if you want to share on like what you think community should be in the church, right?
Yeah. Well, I think for me it's that like value of like a person. I don't want to come off sounding like meta or like really high level.
You know? Be that high level.
I don't even know if I understand what meta means entirely, but I guess I just don't want to sound too like high level. But yeah, it's like that value of a person, and I mean, it's totally been like my faith, and especially growing up understanding like the life of Jesus. It's like it's seeing someone and understanding like the value of that person. And we have this mantra here at Arcade when someone comes in. It's like we hope that you feel that we've been waiting for you all day. And that's like the energy that we want to bring when someone comes in the door. It's like you come in and it's like overly welcoming. I mean, not fake, but it's genuinely, and because it's come from Stevie and I's like being on bar together. It's like when someone comes in, it's like we literally we're waiting for you. In this sense, because it's like we wanted you to come in. We're so excited when one person would come in, especially when we were starting it, because there was less people. So it's like when someone would come in, it's like there was always a new person.
A person just walked in.
Yeah. So it was this opportunity to make that connection and that experience for someone.
Spills the coffee.
We're close. Dude, but some people, it feels like that sometimes when you go into a coffee shop. It's like, oh, hey, like, I'm not excited.
Too cool.
Like you're doing them a favor by walking in, right? Or
totally.
Yeah, they're doing you a favor.
Yeah.
Like allowing you to walk in, right?
Well, for sure. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I understand that as like an employee too, and as a barista, it's like we don't expect someone, a job that you're getting paid to make coffee for people, but it's like I think that we've never met someone that like doesn't experience this like really incredible feeling of like connecting with someone that was like, I mean, we're creating a relationship. Every person, every barista at Arcade has felt that sense of like, wow, like I can change I mean, maybe that's too big. I can change an experience with someone, right? I can change this person's day. And I've had moments where people have come up to me, many moments, and have said, hey, today I lost my job actually, and this has been really hard for me. And I've been able to like talk with them. And that feeling of like, some people don't have someone to talk to. And if we can create that with someone behind bar, you're able to be like, yeah, the barista is that person that we can talk to. So it's it's just that sense of like really being able to connect with someone, and I guess like love people and really create relationships with people. And coffee is to me has been like the one. I guess I would say hospitality has been something that I've seen clearly that it's you can do that.
Yeah, dude, that's so good.
Thanks.
What a good model for like what church can and should be too. A place where people come in and they're accepted in their circumstances, right? And just a place to almost like, sometimes you don't even need it to get figured out, but just having someone to talk to and have a community where you can like kind of drop the baggage a little bit. Yeah, it's such a healing thing. Yeah,
for sure. And sorry.
No, go ahead, bro.
No, I was just gonna say, like, it feels like sometimes, when someone comes in, it's not about like I'm just ready to change your life. Like, I'm gonna be your best friend. It's not that.
I'll be like, hey, slow down, man.
It's not that. It really is like, dude, I
can't,
yeah, for sure. And it's like, and that's where it comes in for me of like the quality of the coffee and getting excited about like what you're about to drink. For sure. Because like someone can come in, I'm like, no, I'm gonna change your life. It's not gonna be like this really weird like
how's your life?
Friendly way of, it's not that. It's more of like you're gonna have the best coffee. I'm sure of it. And there's this way to like build off of that too. It's fun because when someone comes in, it's like I'm not like I'm gonna be your best friend, but it's like I'm gonna give you the best coffee ever.
I'm gonna be your best friend by the end of this.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So
that's awesome, bro.
Yeah, it's like this. Yeah. So.
Yeah, dude. Has anybody ever walked in and was like, hey, can I get a frappuccino?
Oh yeah, for sure. Many times.
First time.
Josh. I do it every day.
Yeah, there's been lots of people, but it's super easy. It's like they're like, hey, can I get a caramel frap? It's like, hey, we don't do blended, but we do iced. And usually they're like, oh, okay, cool, sounds good.
Sweet.
But I never track if they come back either. I don't know. Some people just want frappuccinos. That's okay.
Dude, yeah. Can I share a little bit on why I think coffee is so important?
Yeah.
So. We might cut this part out.
The Bible says awake, ye sleepers.
Yeah. Wake up! No, so I don't know if you know this, but in our faith tradition, for a long time, coffee was like a super, like you don't drink coffee. And that came from certain teachings and whatnot. And crosswalk was one of I don't want to say the first, but it was one of the first churches I saw in the Adventist denomination of like making and serving coffee in their services. So like there was like phases of like pastors beginning to drink coffee, but not on the church campus.
Interesting.
You know, and then members drinking coffee, and then finally like got to this moment where church, like coffee has become like an integral part of like the crosswalk experience where we drink coffee. And to get past the what I wanted is get past like the progressive part, because we didn't do it just to do it, but coffee has been that interesting vehicle of relationship that you were talking about earlier, where coffee is almost the most perfect thing to talk over, because it's an easy thing to like share with somebody and then also have conversations over. And even like when I have to have a conversation with someone or when I hang out with somebody, coffee is like the perfect destination
like
for
setting,
that.
right? For
Yeah,
sure.
like over a cup of coffee, as opposed to a commitment to a whole meal, or I don't know. For me now, I don't even know what I do to talk to people. You know,
That's
like,
really funny.
Coffee is such a great place.
Yeah.
Hey man, I just want to have this meeting with you real quick. Do you mind if we go down to the local IHOP?
Can I get IHOP right now?
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know what it is either. Because I say that a lot. Like, I'm like, hospitality is that vehicle.
Sure.
But it feels like coffee is the best of like the hospitality industry to be able to create. And I don't know what it is. Maybe like that commitment of like eating a whole meal, or like maybe
I still have like, I'm thinking of like, hey, you want to go get some spaghetti later?
yeah, and eating a meal like
Too far, Andy.
yeah, it's so interesting. Maybe it's too. It's like when Stevie and I will we meet like once a week, and it's kind of it's for Stevie to like kind of coach me in leadership and stuff. But we'll always get food. We'll get like breakfast in the morning.
Yeah.
We never talk about anything serious over like while we're eating, because we're eating. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just feels different. Maybe that's it. But when you're over coffee, it's like it almost inspires conversation. I don't know.
Sure.
It really does.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like you get a cup of coffee with someone, I'll pour out my soul to you.
Yeah, because
So don't pour any coffee right now.
Oh, part 2, come on.
Oh yeah, and we're back.
Hey, let's do a casino plug.
Dude, yeah, what
yeah. Hey,
Hey,
dude.
welcome
So,
back.
I did kind of wear this on purpose.
Yeah.
A little bit, because my friends started this little clothing company. I mean, I don't even know what you would call, I guess, clothing. But they make they're making clothes, yeah. And it's amazing. Shout out to Carlos. He's incredible, dude. He created this thing. I mean, these guys have been. It's something that I've seen them, and they're so like just passionate about clothes, man. Like it's beyond just like I don't know how to explain it. You could just see that they just love clothes so much.
That's great.
And it's been for the past like 10 years, 15
Right.
years, probably, right?
Do we get like a Shane
and-
promo code? 50%
Yeah,
off. It's linked on that.
They're all
No,
free.
but he this is like one of their first thing. It's all handmade, or it's all made in LA.
That's
It's
awesome.
made out of like I might be wrong, but it's made out of wood. I think this whole entire
Okay.
t-shirt's 100% wood material or something.
Nah, dude.
I
There's
forget.
no
That's
way.
not what wood looks like.
That's not this.
This is wood.
This is wood, not this. No, and then it's
Really?
chain stitched
It's like
by
fibers?
Yeah, it's like fiber. It's like wood fiber. I'll have to look up the name for it.
That's
but
like
it's
boyfriend
crazy.
material.
Dude, for
Yeah, right
sure.
here. But it's the most breathable. Yeah, and it's all chain stitched
Dude,
by
that
their friends and his brother and stuff. So.
Dude, that is so cool.
Yeah, look him up. Casino. I think their website's Casino Los Angeles.
We'll look it up.
Or
Maybe we
something,
can add it.
Casino with a K though. Casino with a K.
Vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vibe. Nice.
Anyways. Yeah.
Maybe this last couple moments we could talk about. I feel like it's great to end each podcast with like some kind of hope. So like maybe from you, you could talk about kind of the hope that you found. I don't know. Create shared moments. I feel like there's something great that we could share. I don't know if you have some more language to offer.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think. Dude, sometimes I just look back. I think like, man, I don't know where I'd be without Arcade. Like the people of Arcade. Maybe I would have found this like sense of community elsewhere. And I mean, I find it in church too, for sure. But man, like I think every day it really does feel like I become a better person. Like, because I think I'm surrounded by such incredible people. And I think, you really are so much of like who you surround yourself with. And I think Arcade's been able to, or I'm lucky to be able to be a part of Arcade because it's like we're able to create this community of people that are really amazing. And I've got to meet so many people and create so many relationships, and I've been so much better for it.
That's good, dude.
So I'm excited, man. I mean, I get so excited to do that. And I mean, I love hospitality. So, you know, in the future, if there's other projects that I do, it's like I'm excited for it, man, because I'm able to meet more people.
Yeah,
and,
dude.
Yeah, great relationships. Huh? Yeah.
That's great. No, bro. I feel like that's been the through line through this whole conversation. Like when we've talked about coffee or how you met Stevie or your mantra, it's always led you to like people.
Yeah.
And I think as someone like a consumer of Arcade and also a member of like the community, that's something that more than like, because the coffee is amazing, but more than the coffee, I have found community. Like through Arcade, I found people. And dude, just to affirm what you guys are doing here, like this is gospel work. Not to over spiritualize, but what I mean is like this is people learning who they are and finding community and finding what it means to be human, bro.
That's
here
awesome.
at a coffee shop, dude. So
That's good.
If you had like a future hope for what Arcade becomes, like let's say in the next 5 years, right? What does that look like?
Man, I think I think for future hope, just becoming better. I mean, we've made a lot of mistakes, man. I mean, we've done, like even just as leaders too. Like, there's been there's been times where I mean, we haven't been great leaders or great bosses to people, and so I think the future is just always just trying to be better. You know, I mean, it's really crazy there's never a point where I want to stop learning. I mean, that probably sounds really cheesy and kooky, but it really is true, man. It's like every day I get an opportunity to like create a better relationship with like the people around me and
that's great.
Our employees or customers or whatever it is. So I think just doing more of that and getting better at it, and you know, maybe doing that in other places too, opening a second location or a third, and be able to do that in more places. So
that's great.
yeah.
Dude, amazing.
Love it.
Bro,
Yeah.
Shane, love you, man, so much, dude.
bro.
I'm so glad that we've been coming here, that we developed this friendship, this relationship, dude.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, dude. I feel like your message and like who you are is gonna inspire so many people.
That's awesome.
So thanks for sharing with us, being here. Love you, bro.
Love you too, man. Love you.
Love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. Shane Levario, follow him on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
Shane ML.
Shane ML. Unless you don't want them to follow you, but unless you do.
You can follow me. I don't really post very much.
You don't. Oh, but little tidbit. This guy was like OG Instagram famous, dude. We should have touched on that.
I want to share his.
No.
I feel like
there has to be a preface, because people look at it and they're like, what's going on here?
He's got 21,000 followers.
Yeah,
But it's
dude, that's nuts.
Back in the day, Instagram used to be a different place, dude. It's kind of weird. Like, we got on Instagram, me and my friend Kyle, best friend.
Kyle!
And,
You!
dude,
I love you, Kyle. Sorry. It's like he was like,
You got really excited.
I just missed that guy.
yeah, man, dude. We went to Missouri to visit my sister once, and we just took Instagram photos and posted. Would participate in contests. We actually went up to San Francisco with a couple people and met like the community manager at Instagram. So I got featured on this list called the suggested user list, which they would do for people that represented the community well. Like, Instagram used to be like, there's so many Insta meets, dude. There was an Insta meet at Mount Rubidoux with like over or about like 100 people, like just Instagram, like iPhone photographers. It used to be a weird place. So I got put on that list, and I just got so many followers, but it was all people that like just signed up for an Instagram account. So a lot of them don't use the Instagram account anymore. So it's kind of, I don't like it, because it's like I kind of feel weird sharing my Instagram with people, but.
Dude,
It was a good time. Yeah. If you go back on my feed, you could see like me in front of a door, like
I
trying to be
saw
super
you
cool.
trying. You were super cool. That was cool. And then you see that younger
You're carrying
Kyle.
2020 on your
Dude,
back.
yeah,
bro.
Kyle like there's like this Instagram contest called Jumpstagram, and Kyle like he's jumping, but you'd have to like spread your feet out like as wide as
that's
possible.
cool.
Yeah.
So Kyle's just like jumping. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Dude, I miss Kyle.
Yeah,
That's
me
great.
too.
For sure. All right.
All right.
Cutting
Just the
it.
real close.
The real close.
See
Love
y'all.
you guys. Peace out.